It's another one of the podcasts where I've not uploaded the last podcast as we're recording this because I'm lazy.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice one. Cool.
Judd thinks he is the game Postal 2.
I think I'm the entire game of Postal 2, yeah.
Oh, did I just see a beer right there, Judd? Did I? Did I now?
No.
Yes, I did, you sneaky bitch. Now I have to have one too.
Yep.
That's the rules, right? On this podcast.
If
one of us is drinking, the other has to too.
I've shaved my head again as well, so that means you need to shave your head.
Ah, I was tempted.
Were you?
Yeah.
I think you should have done it.
I wasn't tempted to shave my entire head. I was tempted to literally just go zzz down the middle once and go, right, I'm going to leave that for 3 days and see what I can get away with. I just wanted to see what I could get away with. But
that would have been great.
Yeah, it's a jam-packed podcast. I'm going to get some boring topics out of the way, folks, because I know that you don't want to listen to a lot of my boring shite. But I've got some better stuff later on that might be more interesting. First thing is that I just want to mention, yesterday, as of recording this, was the start of Season 8 of Apex Legends, my most ever played game. I was very excited. Then the map is just an old map that's slightly bigger, so it's kind of bad. The new character is kind of just annoying. And also, Judd, he's Australian. But don't worry.
Oh, well, it's alright. If only one character's Australian, it's fine.
We
One
have
or
this
two's alright.
weird thing where if there's like 40%, well, if there's 40% or under, I don't know, I'd say maybe 20% or under characters are Australian, then that feels okay. But if it's like 60% of the characters are Australian in a video game, it's just weird. Something weird about it.
You can have like a section where like in your game, that section is basically Australia. So for that section of the game, which could be like a few hours, they're all talking Australian. But as long as the majority of the content, people aren't speaking Australian at you, it's fine. I don't know what it is, but
speaking Australian as if that's a language.
Yeah,
Apex kind of does that because he's from a planet called Salvo, but that's Australia.
That's Australia. That's space Australia. It's funny because like when I was playing fucking Borderlands: A Pre-Sequel, it was like you had the first few characters that were Australian because it was 2K Australia.
Yeah.
That they gave. They went, we don't really care about this one. Get to fucking 2K Australia. So the majority of characters in that are Australian, but it was just weird, like hearing the first couple voices and being like, okay, all right then. And then just you got to about the 20th person who was still Australian, and I just started getting a headache. I'm like, stop!
I don't know what's weird about it. It's just Australian accents as well. So yeah, that's been, I don't know, it's fun. I've been re-motivated to grind Apex, and I've been doing it with someone else as well, rather than just solo queuing now. So it's just one extra person makes it so much easier, I have to say. Yeah. If we both if like all three of us played me, you, and Cal, we'd not like win every game. In fact, I don't win. Me and Cal barely win any games actually, but it's quite rare to get a negative points, and it's fun. I'm having fun with it for now. When I get into diamond ranks and it starts being sweaty as fuck, then we know that it's going to be. Let's put it that way. Anyway, Season 8 of Apex, no one's really interested in that. What else have I got to talk to you about? I think the rest of the stuff isn't too bad. So, Judd, what are you drinking?
Foster's.
Ugh, what a gross, piss water, cheap lager. Not like my Bud Light that I'm drinking. Literally the only one that could have been worse. What you been up to? Tell me about things.
So, I've got a story. Well, it's not a story about me. It's a story about something that's happening. I've not actually touched it because I refuse to touch it.
What is the story though? Morning Glory though.
It's about you. I don't know if you've heard about it, but there was a mod released for one of my favorite games ever called Fallout New Vegas, and I'd never heard about it. My mate Tom had heard about it because I brought this whole thing up to him, and he said he'd been looking into this thing for about 7 years, but It's called
Can you
the
just tweak
Frontier.
your mic down a little bit.
Okay, it's called the Frontier, and basically it was like one of these where it's like a big sort of news story in that universe, like Fallout Miami and stuff like that. It's took 40 people 7 years, and it is the most cringy, badly written, awful fucking mod that has ever come out. And in fact, it's so bad that when people started looking into things more, they dug up that one of the developers of the mod used to draw child porn. So that's good.
See, you know that
It's-
thing.
yeah.
You know that thing that regularly happens where one of us is talking about something and the other person tunes out.
Yeah.
That was just happening then until you said child porn, and I was like, no.
Yep, and it's basically the whole mod is just because they're mostly like furries, you see, that have made this mod. So there's shit like there's one part in it where there's a big fucking reptile sex cult where they're all doing
It's a
drugs.
mod for a game that must be like what 10 years old, like.
Yeah. There's another bit where you can fuck a death claw. There's one bit, if I can find the actual scripted like dialogue, where you can basically emotionally abuse a woman into wearing explosive slave collar and being your slave, and she refers to you as master. Which again is just all just these people's fetishes.
I swear to God, that's some sort of meet and fuck game from Newgrounds. God, if my employers ever watch this podcast, they are gonna hate that I'd said anything like that. Please don't fire me.
There's a bit in it where she says something along the lines of, "God, I'm not looking forward to taking my boots off later because my feet must smell like rotting meat." That's an actual line
God,
in
it's
this
horrible.
fucking mod.
I can't
It's
get it.
so
I can't understand the mentality of wanting even just to simulate anything like this. It's just horrid.
Tom, I got.
Of course, your mate told you about it, though.
No, I found out about it because it was
oh no,
like
that's
blowing
not
up.
something you want to admit.
No, it's not. But it were blowing up a bit, obviously, because the whole controversy of like them finding out about like the kiddie shit.
Well, it's so shocking that it sent chat into like what I'm assuming is Spanish rather than English, because Edvardinho says "la badiena." I think I'm just guessing. That could have sounded really culturally inappropriate. I did my best, though. I'm sorry.
but yeah, I told Tom about it, and Tom, because he was looking into this like when it first sort of came out, and all of the furry shit obviously wasn't on the show, but he's been playing through it, and I asked him to give me like a little review of from someone that's actually playing it, and he told me that it is a mod that has been made by 40 people over 7 years, and it is the worst fucking thing to happen to humanity since pineapple on pizza. It is dog shit.
Since pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So there you go.
That's what you've been up to then, is it? Nice one.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Apart from that, I've just been writing. My D&D
Writing.
stuff. Yeah. Which is going really well. I'm really enjoying running my own campaign. So
you are boring.
It's one of those things where like it's like I'm loving doing this thing, but I'm looking forward to not having to do it for a long time.
Yeah. I know what you mean. It's fun. It's same with like what I was on about with Apex earlier, because like I'm enjoying doing it now, but once it's done, that's why I want to get to the top rank in Apex so that I can forget about it.
Yeah. I've actually got a story of something that happened to me today. There was two weird things that happened to me today. Actually, I went for just like a walk on my lunch break, and I was just having like a walk around Leeds. And at one point, I went into this Tesco, and there was like a homeless man outside, and I was just like so like in a different world that like when instead of him just like saying to me, because I had my headphones on as well, instead of him just going like, "Oh, can I have some change, mate?" He like made it a point to sort of get into like my field of view and like be like, excuse me, like that, and I'm already like, oh fucking hell, all right, okay. My headphones off, and he says something like, "Can you please just go get me a warm meal, mate? Can you get me a warm meal, mate, please?" And I just there was something about it that I because I was in like full. I'm like, this is my me time. This is for me. And this guy just come out of nowhere and stopped me from, like, you know, just having my fucking meme time. My meme time.
You had a Freudian slip then and accidentally said meme time.
Get in the room with my meme time. But so I says to him, I don't even know why I said this, but I went, look, buddy, I'm just going for some milk. I didn't even want any milk. I have no idea where it came from. It was like some sort of just.
We need to make a T-shirt of that quote. And I didn't even want any milk.
I didn't even want any milk. I've no idea. I still don't know where it came from. It was like a defense mechanism. But I'm just going for some milk.
I know what you mean though, because like when you're an adult now, your own like personal time like becomes so precious. Just even when you're like not working, people just want shit from you all the time, don't they? So,
but that was that one. I didn't even go in for any milk. I got like, I don't know. I was just going in to do stuff. I think I got like a packet of them Biscoff biscuits, and that were it. But then later on, I was going past the Starbucks, and I was like, oh, I could. You know what? I've not had like a frappuccino in ages, and I could probably go for like a ham and cheese toasty as well. So,
are you allowed to pick stuff up at the minute? Like, I thought you weren't allowed to go in and get food
in Leeds. You are, but you're not allowed actually in. They've got like a plastic separator thing at the front door, so they can pass you it through the front door, so you're not actually on company property. But I got there, and there was this big dude, and he didn't really speak much English, or he didn't speak it very well, and he just seemed really intimidating. So like I went up to him and I was like, "Can I get a frappuccino, please?" And immediately it was just like, "Yep, frappuccino, yep," and then like went and got it. Didn't ask me if I wanted anything else, and instead of, he didn't like put any coffee in it either. It was just like normal. But the thing is, he was giving such like this negative energy over him that I didn't want to ask. I didn't want to be in his presence any longer. I was just like, oh, bye then. So I got bullied out of fucking getting a ham and cheese toasty.
Oh god, that takes me right back to high school, you know, when it was really busy in the lunch queues, because obviously, of course it was, because they couldn't actually plan a building any decent. It was just all crammed, and all you could afford for lunch was like a ham and cheese toasty, but you had to hurry up, and and all this shit, and like, oh god. They should have had a big burly man to keep people moving along there. They should have had a massive security guard.
It just, I don't know, I felt like, I don't know. He just really didn't. He didn't want me there. I'm like, I'm giving you money. Well, I'm giving you company money, but
yeah. Oh well, that's been a weirdly eventful time, I suppose, for you this week.
I'd tell you other stuff, but I don't think I'm allowed to talk about it on podcast. So.
Oh right. Why don't you like paraphrase some bits of it? You can say it, but like say something very blatantly what it is, but not exactly what it, you know.
Me do the smoky smoke.
You can say that you burned the midnight CBD oil.
I was burning the midnight oil. The midnight oil.
You were puffing some harsh green, I think is what you can say. I don't think that's actually illegal to do, but
some big green. I don't know, whatever. I was smoking. And I played Postal 2 for the first time at the same time, and
if you don't know what Postal 2 is, you need to look it up. But if you are a youngster, then maybe don't. But also, I'm not your dad, so do what the fuck you want.
Yeah, because it's quite it's a fairly surreal. I don't know because I smoked a lot. So the thing is, like, I don't know if that game's really just like surreal or I was just fucked.
It is. Because... It's got, you know, do you remember that JonTron episode, Zoo Race? It's
Yeah,
got those vibes. It's not
yeah,
as
yeah,
wacky as that, but again, there's another thing you'll have to look up if you don't know what that is.
yeah. But it was. I were quite fucked, and there were some bits that, like, there were some bits in it where I was just like, I was just laughing because I thought it was really funny. But there were other bits where I'm like, I'm actually getting quite a bit fucking freaked out right now. There was one bit where you have to go to like a library, or I can't remember if it was like the library bit or the bank bit, and it's just something really mundane, like go cash in a paycheck, or no, that were it. It's going and picking your paycheck up. That was the bit that I was doing, and you're in this big sort of building, and because I was so hour off my fucking head, so I couldn't. It was a big building, so I had no idea where I was going, and there's
Yeah.
no like proper waypoints or anything. There's just like this shitty little map that is drawn with like crayon on.
Yeah.
Um,
This
so
this map, by the way, isn't that hard to understand if you're not off your face.
yeah, if you're not off your
Um,
face, if I play, the thing is, I'm never going to play this game sober, so it's fine. But like,
I played it sober. That's why it got a
Okay.
bit boring and cringy towards the end.
yeah, that probably makes sense. But yeah, so I'm like searching through this building. I'm like, and the music had stopped. Nobody was talking. So every now and again, my guy would just make like a little stupid fucking quip. But
Hmm.
apart from that, it was just barren. And I'm like, I'm starting to get a bit freaked out now. And I
It's because
opened
it's
this.
Source Engine, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
Half-Life Engine, and there's just a
Yeah.
creepy vibe of that.
There is always a creepy vibe to the Source Engine stuff. And I opened this one door, and there was nobody in this room. And this character model spawned, like it blinked into existence in front of my guy, and he said something like, good day for it, something like that. and I'm sat there playing it. I went, oh!
God, you are such a mong. Another thing to look up if you're not from England, or even the north. Do people in the south of England say mong?
Mong. I don't know.
I bet they don't.
I found out recently that spas in America is not like mental retardation like it is over
Oh.
here. Spas just means like a bit of a wacko, like, you know,
Oh,
you're a bit
right.
crazy, you're a
Oh,
bit loopy, a bit of a wacko.
strange.
But over here it means you are mentally retarded.
Well, speaking of weird stuff, Judd, like on Postal, I went for a walk recently, and obviously it's
like on Postal. You
just
went
like
for a
on
walk
Postal. No, it's been
Yeah,
snowing
damn it, I
round
need to
here,
do
as I'm sure you know. And me and my girlfriend went on a walk, and someone had built this snowman. And I'm gonna send you a video of this snowman on Facebook to play. And I want to get your reaction to it on the podcast, because we were walking around and we saw it, and I stopped in front of it because I was slightly ahead of it, and I'm like, this I was just looking at it, and I was like, this snowman looks like it's melting right in front of my eyes, and I was looking at it like I'm ready for it to like fall over, because it was like kind of leant over.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend were like, yeah, it does. And we were looking, but it didn't fall. It was fine. It was sturdy, but it looked like it was melting. And it was this weird optical illusion. And we weren't on the puff like you were, but we felt like we were at that point. So we're like, wait a minute. I feel like this fucking snowman should be falling over, but it's not. Because it looks like it's like slowly melting.
It does a little bit. That's freaking me out. I don't like that. That looks
Yeah.
like it's gonna come to life. That looks like its body's just gonna quickly shift and its head's gonna look at you.
I know
That's
it's not a
fucking awful.
great podcast thing to say, but it was so weird. I swear to God, it was such a strange optical illusion, and we were getting freaked out by it. We're like, we need to go. I need to leave this
We
slow
need to
snowman
leave.
be.
Again, I've been having the puff for a few days, and I'll be honest with you, if I saw something like that, I think it'd shoot me through a bit. I'd be like, I gotta get out of here.
It's so creepy. It was like dark as well, and there's something scary about snowmen, isn't there? I feel like snowmen
Sometimes,
that they're on the verge of going the same way that clowns have, because I'm pretty sure no one finds clowns funny anymore. They're always creepy now.
I do, like, it depends on the clown. Like, sometimes I can be like, yeah, that's a funny clown, he's all right, but then there are more times than not I'm like, that's a fucking creepy clown.
Yeah, everyone thinks of clowns as creepy now. They're more of a creepy thing than a funny thing, for sure. And I feel like snowmen could go that way, you know. Snowmen are pretty fucking freaky.
Have you ever watched the fucking Jack Frost film? That's That's not supposed to be for kids. That film. That's a horror movie.
I think the problem with snowmen is that they feel too much like weeping angels. The problem with them is, like, they're fine, but if I ever see that thing move, it's gonna fucking shit me up.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the problem with it. It's almost like I'm really scared of this thing moving, because if it does, that's bad.
Yeah.
So,
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things where you just think, if that moved for whatever reason, I'm just gonna scream.
it's why I'm not sure I could ever have, like, a statue in my house of something that's, like, personified enough, because it just
Like that
freaked me
fucking
out.
weird Thai statue thing that's in Dad and Nat's house.
Yeah, there's just this, like, I don't know, that one's not so bad, because it's like a kind of almost like a happy Buddha thing. So I feel like if that moved, it'd have a pint with me, but
No, I can't do that.
But yeah, I just found it really creepy. It's quite funny. But I mean, also speaking of creepy, I've got a pretty. I feel like Corpse Husband telling this story. Shall I try and make my voice really low?
I don't. Who's that? I don't get that reference.
Come on. You know Corpse.
Corpse Husband.
Yeah. Do you seriously not know who this is? I thought you showed me them. Like, this is the type of person you would know of.
Oh,
He,
that guy. I'm aware of this person's existence, but I don't know who the fuck. I don't know what they do or who.
It reads out creepy stories in a really low voice, right? But also he's been in a lot of Among Us stuff. You know, with Among Us Boom, he's been on, like, you know, PewDiePie's. No, he's not like that. He's like, number 13. It's like,
if you ever saw an imposter being sus. Is that what he says? Is that one of his videos?
But he also
Maybe
does
he's
music
Asian.
as well. Is he? He doesn't show his face. Does he? Unless he
Is
has.
that a chick?
Corpse
Is that a
Husband
woman?
face reveal. Is that... Has he actually done one? I don't think he has. Corpse Husband music. I'm going to send you this song by him. Because it's been blowing up on TikTok.
I don't want to listen to any of this guy's fucking songs, because I know for a fact it's going to be something about, like, fucking Among Us or Five Nights at Freddy's or some shit.
It's not, Judd. It's worse. Here you go. Enjoy that. The first line.
Hold on. Give me.
Let me know when you're playing, and I'll play it at the same time as you. We'll do a 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
3,
3,
2,
2,
1, go. Okay, this is our reaction to this song.
All right. Okay. And they can hear this, can they?
Yeah.
What? No! Get it off! Get it off!
That's enough
Put
of
the
that. Then.
feed. I'm not having
There
it.
we go. That's as much as we're allowed to play. But yeah, there you go. That's Corpse Husband. But he reads out creepy stories, and I was about to tell one of those, and I feel like I should be like, one night when I was out walking, I went to a
Having a play date
daffodil.
with my little kitten who was dressed up in her nappy.
No, I was on a walk. I was doing an evening walk, which I'm pretty sure is the main hobby of everyone in our country right now. Having an evening walk. I was wandering around, just different streets. What I normally do when it's dark and I'm walking, I always walk on streets where there's street lights, but mostly where there's houses, just in case if there's any nefarious persons around, you can easily just like bang on a door or something like, there's someone raping me or something.
If I'm on the rape prowl, as I usually am.
If Judd's out on his evening walk,
Yeah.
then, so
Very different things.
yeah, but so I normally do that, and I think that's definitely good advice to do. Keep to streetlights and also lots of houses around, because you might look a bit dodgy wandering around streets that aren't yours, but it doesn't matter, because as long as you don't do anything bad, you don't do anything bad. And also, if something bad happens to you, there's lots of houses around that'll notice. So
Yeah.
I was doing that, and anyway, but I was wandering around, and this one street I went down, it wasn't quite like that. There was houses down it, but I wanted to go down it because there's not many like really nice houses where I live. There's plenty of like quite nice, but not many like, you know, big houses.
Yeah.
But this one street, it's weird because it's near a bunch of like terrace houses and stuff, but it's got some really nice houses down it. So I'm like, I want to wander down this street, look at these really nice houses and that. But it didn't have street lights. There was the obviously really nice houses right next to the road, so it wasn't as bad. So I thought it was fine. But then there was like a bend, just like a 90-degree right turn around the corner.
Yeah.
And that 90-degree right turn, it goes all the way down to a main road with loads of lights. So that was the plan. I was going to go down to this main road and then do like quite a big walk. But the thing is, I was on this not lit street, and between me and the main road right at the end, there was a fucking freaky figure just stood there. It was no. It was fucking weird. Oh shit! Oh god! It's haunting me. Everything's falling. Everything just fell down on my desk. Oh no! What if it is haunting? Jesus. No. Yeah. It was weird because it was. It just looked like a person, just like an average height person, wearing, like a puffy coat, like a puffer coat, 'cause it was fairly cold. And there was feet, and it looked like a puffer coat because you could see, like, a dome of a head, but, like, only half, because it was, like, puffed up, the puffer coat.
Yeah.
Like it would be. And the bottom of it were kind of, like, waving in the wind a bit. It looked like a long one. I thought they were just stood there trying to zip it up. Like, I thought it was like they were trying to zip it up and they were stood there trying to zip it up. But I was like, I don't really want to go near this person. They look weird already. So I just kind of stood there, because they were facing the opposite direction to me. I just kind of stood there, just waiting for them to zip it up and then start walking on. So like, okay, I can keep like a distance behind them. I sound very paranoid, but I don't think it actually is paranoid.
I was just gonna say, what you mean to fucking tell me really is what happened is there was this dude stood there just out on his evening walk, and you were just stood behind him just watching him.
No, I was like 200 meters away.
Yeah, so you're watching him from a distance. You were still watching him.
Maybe I was the creeper.
Yeah.
No, because the thing is, I was just gonna wait for him to keep moving on. And plus, you're not supposed to get close to people now, so there's all of that. But the thing is, I was stood waiting for fucking forever, and they didn't move. They were just stood there for ages, and I was like, you know what? I'm out. I'm not going to do this. I'm fine. If this was a horror film, people would be screaming at the TV, turn around. I'm like, I'm going to fucking turn around then. So I'm going to do it. And I did.
I'm just here. Guess what? Still alive. Didn't die.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know what? Anyone in a horror film, listen to me, am I right? Yeah. But the thing is, it was probably fine. I'm thinking back on it now, it probably wasn't even a person. Like, my girlfriend said that, was it like some bin bags piled up or something? But it definitely wasn't, because she came over the next day and I told her this, and we walked that route specifically, and there was nothing there, nothing in the middle of it. Well, actually, I say there was nothing there. We turned the corner and there was a woman in a trench coat walking up carrying some shopping. So I was like, oh fuck, it's there. But like as soon as we turned the corner, I could see, no, this actually is just a normal woman. So that was a bit freaky. But yeah, there was nothing in the middle of this path. Like, it was absolutely clear. So I don't know what the fuck I saw, but what I will say is it wasn't like a demon or a ghost or some shit, because those don't exist. So yeah, I reckon it might have still just been someone stood there admiring the view for some reason of this main road. It's just some weirdo. I don't know what it was. But yeah, creepy story. What do you think about that, Judd?
I just all I can imagine is that there was this dude out there. It was probably just, I don't know, just enjoying a smoke or something, just looking at the view, and fucking 200 meters behind him, there was just this weird boy just staring at him, watching.
Honestly, he didn't know I were there, but honestly, if I showed you where this was, Judd, you would know that that's not going to be where someone's standing having a smoke, looking at the view. There was literally no view. It was the fucking worst view you'd ever see. And it was like such a weird place to be stood. It was right in the middle of the path, right in the middle, like width and lengthways. He was just stood right in the middle. It was so strange. And the bottom of the coat looked really weird for a puffer coat. It looked like it were like ripped or something.
Was he really tall, and did he have tentacles coming out of his back, and was his face actually just, he had no face?
Not quite, actually. Also, I can't be scared of Slenderman anymore, because I know that's what you're talking about. He just doesn't want... Have you seen the Slenderman movie?
I haven't watched the movie. No.
Oh Lord, it's so funny.
I know the documentary thing about them little girls that took that other little girl into the woods and stabbed her a bunch of times to appease Slender Man.
That's just something else, though.
But no,
that one's not so funny.
No, because that one's real.
Well, there's 2 movies we should watch together. Jasmine suggested to watch them, like, do a watch along on stream type of thing.
Okay.
She thinks we should watch The Lobster. Have you heard of that? It's like an Oscar-winning movie, and she's told me a tiny bit about the plot. It sounds batshit. It sounds fucking weird. So that'd be fun.
I've heard of The Lobster.
And then also that Slender Man movie is so funny. It's so funny. It's obviously trying to be a horror, and that's why it's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
There's a bit where she like... Oh, no, it's spoilers, I don't want to say. There's a bit where a girl does something that's meant to be scary, and it's hilarious. It's like... It sounds... You know, like... Scary Movie and that. It's like they're taking piss out of it like a scary movie film would.
Yeah.
But they're not trying to do that. It's so funny. Love it. But yeah, that was the creepy thing on the walk. Have you been watching... Oh, go on, sorry.
I was just going to say, that's the shittest name for a story ever. The scary thing on the walk.
That could be a creepypasta. Good. Let me ask you something.
Go on.
Have you been watching many series and such lately? Because I know that's quite a thing people do in lockdown.
I have, actually. What
have you been watching?
Snowpiercer. And... Have I been watching
Did not think
else?
you would watch that.
Well, we started on the first season ages ago, and we got quite into it. And it's got the guy who plays Thomas Jefferson from Hamilton. He plays the main guy, which I actually didn't realize.
Captain America in it as well.
That was the film.
Oh,
That's the film. Snowpiercer, the show, is the one with the guy who plays Thomas Jefferson as the main character, and then the movie is the one who plays Captain America. And I think I realized the other day that, you know, the guy who does the voice for Franklin from GTA, I'm pretty sure he's in the Snowpiercer series as well.
all right. Here's a question for you based on that then, Judd.
Okay.
What do you think's more common? Because obviously it happens a lot where there's a movie and a series of something. Do you think it's more common for the movie to be better or the series to be better?
Sorry, can I just say not Franklin? Trevor.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
plays Trevor. Yeah. It is him. He's in the Snowpiercer show.
Does he look the same? I thought they looked the same.
Yeah. Anyway, what were we saying?
I was saying, because it's quite common, isn't it, for there to be a series and a movie of stuff. The ones that come to mind are obviously that Snowpiercer. When you said Daredevil has had a movie and a series, like the Netflix one. The other one that I think of is Limitless. Do you remember that Limitless movie with Rocket Raccoon in it?
Yeah.
And then there was a TV show of it as well, or a Netflix season or whatever. Do you think it's more common for the series or the movie to be better?
I don't know. I'd probably say the movie.
See, I don't know. I feel like normally, are we going to say whatever comes first or whatever comes second could be the better one? But I don't think that works either, because with Daredevil, the movie's worse than the series, but the movie came first. But with Limitless, the movie's better than the series and the movie came first.
Yeah.
So
I think it's more likely though for there to be a movie of something and then a series of no. I think it's more likely for there to be a series of something and then a movie to come out and then the movie be worse. Because look at what happened to Avatar. Look at what they did at Avatar.
Yeah. That's quite a reliable one. But I think that I had a thought and it's just completely gone. Don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting with that sort of stuff. Well, I've been watching A few things, actually. I've been watching... Have you seen on Amazon Prime, there's a Star Trek animated series that looks pretty much like it's Rick and Morty. It almost may as well be Rick and Morty. It's like not as cynical version of it. The animation looks the same. It looks exactly the same as Rick and Morty does. And I like it. It's not very Star Trek-y, you know? It's like, I'm not a Star Trek fan at all. I just can't. It just feels too nerdy for me. And I don't. I'm just not into it. And then, but this season it's quite interesting. That's pretty cool. You should give that a watch. I've been watching The Crown. I bet you didn't think I'd watch The Crown, did you, Judd? You know, like most of the shows I watch, I complain about it's all fucking talking, and then I watch a show that is 100%. Well, here's the thing, right? I've got like a morbid fascination with the royal family, and I say a morbid fascination because I don't particularly really like the idea of kings and queens at all. I think overall, currently for our country, having kings and queens is better, but only right now. I think, like in 1,000 years, it won't be. But I've also got this fascination with them because they're fucking weird and ridiculous people, and like backwards. It's so strange. They're so like, it's like it feels like watching Tiger King to me. You know, because they're so weird and strange that it feels the same, but obviously in an opposite direction. And I like The Crown because it's more interesting to me than a documentary. It's like, you know, sometimes in documentaries, they do like a recreation bit.
Yeah.
Well, that entire show...
Recreation of what actually happened.
Yeah, that entire show is like a really good recreation of a bunch of stuff that happened, which I find quite cool. But I've literally only been watching season 4 because, like, I'm not interested if it's too far away. I want, like, the closest ones. Like, I want everyone that's royal at the minute. I want them to be alive, the people who are in the show, you know? I've only been watching season 4. And I've not got to the big Princess Diana drama stuff yet, but there's been some arguments with that. And I didn't realise, you know, Prince Charles with the big fucking ears?
Yeah.
He's a fucking dirty dog. He's fucking fucked, honestly. Fucking get him there, Charles. So there's that, and then there was the other thing. Oh, do you remember a little organisation called the fucking IRA? You know, maybe that terrorist organisation. Well, that's one episode. One explosion, and that's it.
Over it. Just one little explosion, just one firecracker in a Tesco's bin, and it's fucking done.
Yeah,
that was it. Fucking IRA.
Yeah, they're happy to spend most of an episode of the Queen trying to figure out which one of her children is her favourite child. And I think it's because they're trying to give equal coverage to a lot of characters, but in this time, the Queen didn't have that much. Obviously, they want to use her a lot because she's the Queen, but relative to other characters, she's kind of a B character. Like, she's really important, but, like, not a main character, really, for everything that's going on in that time. But my favourite bit, I don't know if you knew about this, Judd, my favourite storyline, it only has one episode for it, but it's dedicated to this entire episode, is, did you know there was this one guy who broke into Buckingham Palace twice and just sat and had a chat with the Queen?
What a guy! That's sick.
Yeah,
I don't know about him.
He just did it twice. Like, literally, all he did, he's this guy who was like, it was during Margaret Thatcher times, and he was sick of like all the unemployment and all the crap she was doing to the country, spending £3 billion on a war that we didn't really need to do, according to him. I don't want to be political about it. And he was just fed up. The welfare office wouldn't help him. He literally had a meeting with his MP, and he wouldn't help him. So, and his kids were being taken off him. He couldn't get a loan to, you know, fix up his house. He was desperate, basically. He was basically homeless. So one time we were getting bus home, and I'm kind of using the show as an example of this. I don't know if this is completely factual. And he happened to be going past Buckingham Palace, and he just got out because his MP mentioned that, oh, you could contact the Queen, you know, as a joke. so he got out and he was just looking around Buckingham Palace, and he noticed that like a window was open. So literally, he just jumped over the fence, climbed a drainage pipe, and went through the window. and like from what like has been analysed about it, apparently he must have been really, really lucky for no one to have spotted him, for the cameras not to have seen him, and that. And he just would have
gutted him down as well. They wouldn't have fucked about with that. They would have just gutted him down. Because if you're one of the, what are they called? Do they call them beef eaters? Is that what they're called? It's something beef, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's the thing. But no, they're not actual police. They're just like showmen.
I know, but well, no, they're part of the military, and they are instructed to fire if anybody tries to break into the royal palace. Those guns aren't just there for a laugh.
Well, the thing is, they are now, but at that point, because there was such civil unrest from Thatcher, the Queen was trying to be more open with the public and that. So it wasn't massively secure. Obviously it was, but like not hugely.
I feel like if there was still like a guard or something, and especially with the stuff with the IRA happening about that time,
yeah,
I feel like if they would have seen a dude running up and climbing up the drainage pipe and fucking on the royal palace, they would have assumed he was going to kill the Queen.
Well,
that's what you would have thought.
It sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? It sounds like there's no way that it could be true, but
yeah.
Like, because my girlfriend were telling me about it when we were wandering on a different evening walk, and I was thinking, I feel like you might be making most of this up, but I want to agree with you. I think you're probably right, kind of. And she said it were on the Crown, and I looked into it, and she fucking was right. I mean, she wasn't completely right. She said he had a gun and stuff. I don't think he did have a gun. So, yeah, he climbed through this window, and essentially, he just wandered round. He just wandered round Buckingham Palace, just kind of looking at art. He sat on the throne, just had a little sit on the throne. It's like, oh, I'll just have a sit. He went into one of the offices and saw that there were a bunch of like international gifts. So he like opened up a bottle of wine, had a big swig of that, so, you know, and then he just left. He just climbed out the window. He just left. So he left, and then some other stuff. His life got slightly worse and things like that. It got a bit worse than that. So he was like, right, I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna find the Queen. I'm gonna tell her about it. Fuck it, I did it once. Like, why not? Yeah. So he just did. Same thing. Got lucky again, and just somehow figured out that which one was the Queen's bedroom.
Yeah.
And it was really early, like in the morning. Like he'd gone there at like I'm guessing like 5 a.m. or something.
Jesus. Yeah.
And
I would have killed him for that. I would have been like, look, mate, fucking, at this point, it sounds like I'm doing you a service. So
he woke the Queen up by opening her curtains. Like, I listened to an interview.
Right, Lizzie! Fucking rise and shine.
I listened to an interview with him, and he says, well, I went in and thought, that's too small to be the Queen, so I went over to the window and I opened it right up, and like, he sounds like that. He's from London. And
I said, Lizzie, what are you doing? It's 5 a.m. We got a it.
So she was like, oh, who are you? Get out. And basically, all he did was like, look, Queenie, listen here. Sorry, I need to do the accent and everything. All right, Queenie, I just want to talk, all right? Just want to talk.
Oh, fucking hell, are
you here to rape me?
No. Like, and literally...
Can you please, just a little?
They had a chat about everything that was going on. She gave him a whiskey. Like, and they just had a chat, and then eventually she, like, called the police or something. Like, on the show, what happens? Her teammate comes in and sees them together, and the Queen's like, we're all right, but you maybe get to the police. And he's still just sat there, like, in a chair, like, chatting to her and that. And then police come and they get him, but I think from what my girlfriend was saying, she did end up pressing, like, a panic button or something, and they came. And yeah, she heard him out. Like, he told her about unemployment and stuff and how unhappy he was, and it made a difference and everything. Like, not much of a difference, but, like, you know, she listened and stuff happened. It's absolutely mental. He got arrested, but he didn't get charged on anything, because
she must not press charges then, because if the Queen's going to press charges on someone, then surely they're going to go through.
Well, here's the thing. I think I'm not sure he necessarily did much illegal. I think the only thing that he technically did illegal... There's two things he did, because on the second time he went in, he had to break the window. So, that was illegal. Breaking a window was legal. And then the other thing was the bottle of wine that he stole that were £3. It were a £3 small bottle of wine.
It was £3. Oh, right. So it wasn't like a big... It weren't like a lovely bit of champagne that he nicked.
I'm guessing they had like a crate of them that had come from America or something. I don't know. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Those were the only things he did, but he didn't get charged on them anyway, because like, who fucking cares? It's not a big deal at that point. He didn't do anything violent or anything like that, and the Queen basically kind of was like, hear him out. He weren't violent in any way, and he just got admitted to like a mental hospital for a bit because obviously he was like fucked up from all of Thatcher's like stupid shit that she did.
Yeah.
So he went to a mental hospital for a bit, but then he got released, and now I think he went in and out of prison for a little bit because people tried to like beat him up for breaking into the Queen's bedroom and stuff like that. So he had to fight him, and then he got put in jail for it sometimes. And I think he's just still alive. I think he just still lives in London, and that's kind of it. Yeah, he got to see his kids more and things.
Nice.
So, yeah. That's kind of it.
Sounds like the best thing that could have ever fucking happened to him, breaking into the Queen's house.
Yeah, I know, it's so weird, isn't it? I'm guessing they've secured it up by now, gonna be honest.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I thought that were I was so intrigued by that. I'm surprised there's not more interviews with this bloke. Surely everyone would have wanted to interview him.
Yeah.
But...
Well, it's so much of a mystery, isn't it? That, like a lot of people are, like, freaked out by what goes on in the Royal Palace, obviously, because they just pretty much shut themselves away in there, don't they?
Yeah.
So it's like for this guy, for this just dude, this straight up working Joe, just
this white geezer,
this fucking top lad has just fucking walked in and he's just like, yeah.
He was just a painter decorator bloke. He genuinely was. He was just like, well, I'm fucking Buckingham Palace.
Fucking Craig that works on a building site with YDLs just walked into the Buckingham Palace and is having some wine.
You're having have a bit of wine, a quick whiskey with the Queen, have a little chat, and there we go. Genuinely, but imagine if it had been like, literally, it's shocking, isn't it? Because he could have just fucking killed her.
It could have absolutely. It could have been like 1 degree away from him just going in and just be like, I'm gonna murder the Queen. I'm just gonna do it. Like, fuck it. Like,
and what's so weird is that historically he would have gone down in history forever. Then, wouldn't he? Because the guy who killed Abraham Lincoln, John Wilkes Booth, I even know what it's called.
Yeah.
But so he would have gone down in history for killing the Queen, but instead he does something that to me should be way more interesting, is way more noteworthy of history, of literally just being like, I'm not trying to hurt you at all. I just want to let you know like what's actually happening in your country, because it seems like you're a little bit, oblivious. Like you're off doing all these fancy things, and it seems like you're not getting a chance to know about all the bad stuff that's happening that you might be able to do something about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, properly interesting. Obviously mentally ill, but it happened to be that the way he was mentally ill kind of worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So remember, kids, it's all right to be mentally ill sometimes.
It's all right to be mentally ill, so long as you make friends with a Queen. And that's the only time.
Yeah.
Oh, for legal reasons, that's a joke. Can't even be asked to play the soundbite. A couple of the things that I've seen, Judd, recently. A sort of quick one. Have you ever seen Professional Chase Tag?
Professional chase
like tag,
No.
like tag.
Well,
You're it.
Yeah.
Well, there's fucking Professional Chase Tag, and it got suggested to me on YouTube recently, and Lord, that's fun to watch. It's just these people. There's like a small little like boxed arena with a bunch of like climbing frame stuff on it.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, it's just so. I just love it. It just brings out this like kid instinct in me. But it's like obviously they're brilliant at it. Like it's all like parkour, amazing people at parkour and that. And they just it's 1-on-1 as well. It's hard to describe. You should look it up on YouTube. It's so cool. Professional Chase Tag, yeah, and it's brilliant. It's fun watching them like tagging these cool like jumps and stuff they do over these obstacles and like tagging each other, and and all of that. But the best bit, just like when people watch NASCAR and there's an amazing crash, the best bit is when people fuck it up and they like face plant like at 20 mile an hour into like a metal pole or some shit.
Yeah.
There was one of them where this guy like slipped and slammed his knee into this metal pole. I don't know why everything's made of metal, by the way. You'd have thought there'd be some sort of padding on it or something, but no. And he slammed it. And halfway, like a couple rounds later, during the round, they just showed a picture of his knee, and it was like all purple.
Yeah.
It was all. Oh my god! It's like you wouldn't think of that as like a massively extreme sport like tag, would you?
Yeah.
It fucking can be. There was a guy like slammed his face into it, but he was fine. I don't know what happened there. He got as lucky as breaking into Buckingham Palace and meeting the Queen. That dude did.
That's just our sort of go-to for lucky things now, I suppose.
Yeah. Would you ever give professional or like, I suppose it wouldn't be professional, but like, you know, that type of chase tag a go?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, I'd probably
Can you
be
imagine
out.
you and your mate Sam trying to do that?
We'd be fucked. We'd have to go sit down for a cig after first minute.
Two beefy boys. two.
Just like, hold on. Fucking hell.
It's 20-second rounds. One person has 20 seconds to catch the other. It'd be too much. You won't be able to run for that long.
God, you're simply asking too much of us.
Oh wow, I can't talk either. I'd be the same. I've got a boxing fight at some point this year, hopefully as well.
That fight that's been happening for about 3 years.
I know, God, this COVID shit needs to fuck off. Speaking of COVID shit though, I am now eligible for a vaccine.
Nice.
Because I work for the National Health Service, so I should be having Stabby Stab #1 on Saturday as of recording this, and then you know how they've been postponing them, haven't they? Like, a lot of people who've had the first one have been having to wait like way longer than they were supposed to get the second one. But mine are both booked, so I don't know if mine's going to be done properly or not. I'm not sure. But I don't know. I'll let you know how it all goes. I have to drive all the way to like this massive fancy building in Leeds. I have to break into Buckingham Palace Leeds version to get it. But
I might be able to see you after work then, depending on what day it is.
Oh no, different households can't meet up. Am I right? Although I will be COVID vaccinated, so it's not.
You're COVID vaccinated, and it's. I'm not meeting you. I'm going to watch you. Is that? Is that same?
Like a sports event? I think it is the same, Judd, yeah. But also,
well,
the vaccine takes like 2 weeks to even do anything.
Fuck it. Whatever. What are they gonna
Legally,
do?
that is not going to happen.
What are they gonna do?
Reality? Who knows?
What are they gonna do? Fuck it.
But there's one more thing that I wanted to mention to you. Another thing that I've been watching. How much reality TV have you actually watched? Because I know that our dad and his girlfriend, they are reality TV junkies now, aren't they? They love like Love Island and all that shit, and yeah.
No, like pretty much none.
Okay, I don't think you would enjoy this reality TV that I've been watching, because you just I don't see you liking any reality TV.
I don't really.
But I've been watching a show called The Circle. And
oh yeah,
have you seen it?
I'm not seeing it, but fuck, where do I know The Circle from? I can't even recall what it's about.
Well,
I just know of
recently there's been a US version of it come onto Netflix, so I watched that first, and then I've gone back and watched a season of the UK one because it was in the UK first. Am I right? Brexit, God save our gracious man who broke into Buckingham Palace that one time.
Yeah.
I love him.
He's great. He's pretty great.
What a lad. But yeah, it's so the premise of it, right, is that like I think it's 8 people start off. They go into separate apartments and they each make a profile on this like fake social media thingy, and they can only like chat to each other and play games over this social media thing every so often and kind of things like that. And they vote on who they like the most in there, and the top 2 each time they do a vote become influencers, and those influencers have to decide who they're gonna get rid of. each time that they do it, and new people come in until like the show's over, and then they pick a winner and they get like 100 grand, I think.
Yeah.
But the reason why I find it interesting is there's many room for catfishing in this game, and oh boy, do they want them to. It's not like it's a taboo thing. It's very encouraged. It's like, so for example, there's all sorts of twists and turns. There's this one bloke who is taking much advantage of a certain scenario. There's this guy, he's like 30, he's like really muscly, he's from Liverpool, and he's pretending to be a single mother so that he'll get more sympathy. So there's that.
Brilliant.
There was this like 40-year-old mum who was pretending to be like a 25-year-old cool son. That was pretty interesting. But on the UK one, so many of them are insufferable. On the US one, I actually kind of liked most of them. But on the UK one, most of them are right knobheads. There's this like bigger girl who's gone in there to kind of be like, I want to like, be myself and show that it don't matter what you look like and things like that. That you can still be a really nice person no matter what you look like. Problem with that is, she's a fucking deceitful bitch. So it's like she's gone in being like that, and then there's this other girl, right, who is your very typically good looking type of person. She's blonde, fit, things like that, and she's gone in with the premise being like, sometimes people she's from Liverpool, I'll try and do a Liverpool accent, it's going to be bad. Sometimes people think like, judge you on your looks and that, and you have to and I don't like that. I've got personality. And so she's gone in catfishing as a plain girl, quote, which comes across as so fucking rude. Whoever this girl she's picked, like, you're uglier than me, so I'm going to use your pictures and my wonderful personality. And you know what?
Me.
First opportunity she had to be voted off, she was out of there. The thing is, she was trying to say that, like, sometimes people only like me for my looks, so I want to show that, like, my personality's worth liking as well. But again, she was a fucking bitch, so it just didn't work. It's so funny. But there is one guy who's such a shining light in it. His name is Tim. He's this old bloke with a big bushy beard. He's gay. He's a professor. He used to be a fucking monk. I know. He's like, honestly, and he's just so lovable. He's the best. Everyone loves him. He's been influencer like 4 times. He's great. So yeah, he's the best one. I don't know, I think it'd be really interesting. But the reason I do bring it up, I know you're not into reality shows and that, is, for starters, would you ever do any reality show?
Would I be in one?
Yeah, like any of them. And if you would, which one do you first sort of think that you would want to be in?
I think I'd be in just the two of us, mainly.
No, that's not a reality show. I'm talking like a game show. I'm talking like Big Brother, I'm a Celebrity, those ones. I don't know if there is any more of them. Thinking about it,
I'd be on Takeshi's Castle. That's reality. No, I don't know. I don't know enough about any of them to. In fact, you know what? Because it's usually stupid shit like, we took 20 people and put them in a house, and now they've lost their left arm. How will they function? Shit like that. And I'm like, no, I can't be fucked. I've got shit. I've got shit to do.
Not even if there's a cash prize.
Well, no, because unless I'm guaranteed money to go on it, like if they're like, we're gonna give you $1,000 to appear on this show.
Well, that'd be I'm a Celebrity, wouldn't it?
I suppose. I don't even know.
Because they don't actually win anything at the end of that. They just become king or queen of the jungle. They don't win money or anything. It's just they just get paid to be on it.
No, I can't. I honestly can't see me doing any.
You wouldn't go on I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here.
No, I wouldn't. No.
That surprises me. I thought you might. I would. I'd go on that. I think that's the one I would choose to go on. Although, having seen The Circle, sorry about that. I know that's gross. It does look really fun, and you've got the chance to win £100,000 as well. But my other question to you is, knowing the premise of that, do you think you would catfish, or do you think you'd be yourself, or like what strategy would you have in that sort of scenario?
I'd catfish him to fuck, but
Who would you be then?
I'd be a black man who
I'm getting. Oh no.
no, who very handsome black man, like an Idris Elba kind of guy, really big.
Why do they have to be
Strong.
black though?
I don't just because I personally find black men more appealing than white men. It's not a racism thing. I just find them more attractive. But yeah,
I'm not gonna even comment on whether I think that's racist or not. I'm gonna leave it up to the public to decide. If you think that statement from Judd was racist, tweet at tweetsbadly to let us know.
If you think that's racist, I think you're a bitch. I almost said the.
Let's move on. Let's carry on.
Yeah, so I'd be a big, handsome, strong black man, and I'd very successful, like a CEO of a company or something. But I'd type like Tumblr kids from 2013.
Oh my god, they would hate you. They would hate you. You'd get voted off instantly.
I'd be like, hiya, nya, shit like that. I'd be typing shit like
that does remind me of another insufferable person on the UK version, who's this guy called Paddy. He's a gay, disabled Irish man.
Off immediately. Get him off!
Oh, no. The thing is, right?
Yeah.
He literally came in saying, I love to manipulate people using the fact that I'm disabled. Like, that's literally what you were like. You came in being like that. You know, they do like an intro video of what this person's like.
Yeah.
He literally was like, oh, I'm always making people make me cups of tea and stuff. I don't really need him to.
That's sick. You know what? I want him to win. I'd want him to win.
But the thing is, as soon as this other girl in it had Crohn's disease, so she had to have this bypass thing to go in a bag on her stomach and that. So when them two got talking, obviously they got chatting about disabilities and stuff, and it was like, it's so nice to have someone who can. That's Liverpool again. Sorry,
that's it,
I'm gonna just go with it. Let's just pretend it's from Liverpool now. It's so nice to have someone who understands that it's rough with a disability. I'm so glad I can confide in someone like this. But the thing is, literally like 2 minutes earlier, was like, yeah, I just fuck people up with it all the time. Am I right? So it's like, no, fuck off, mate. Fuck off. But yeah, there was a guy that he fancied who he were flirting with. A guy who was straight, but the guy who was straight was like still flirting because he wanted to get votes from him essentially. But the guy he was flirting with got voted off straight away as well. So, weirdly, two of the very typically good-looking people got voted off at the same time. So what they did was, they paired them together, so they're both in one apartment, and they made them catfish as a really old lady. So honestly, it's just twists and turns everywhere. It's fun. I quite like it. But anyway, have you got anything else, Judd?
Apart from I need a shit, no.
And I need a piss. What a pair we are.
What a fucking pair we made.
How do we end every podcast with being like, I need a shit?
Yeah.
Is it regular shitting time right now?
Yeah.
Approximately 7:14 p.m. on an evening is shitting time.
Yeah, that is shitting time. And you're encroaching on my shitting time right now, so I've got to go.
Right. Goodbye, many fans that we don't have.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed this stream.